Good morning, everybody. Jim Downey here. Jim Downey Glass today. Jim Downey Glass. Bird this way. What over here? Anyway, we're going to be making hummingbirds. I took some of this Chinese light blue cobalt and I mixed it with some clear. I got a little bit more translucent, so I like a really translucent blue when I do this. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make some wings. Actually, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn down Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. I mean, I love to have music in the background, but it's got to be reasonable. All right, so we are going to. We got some pulled down, diluted. Blue cobalt translucent glass, and this glass is probably about I'm going to say it's about 7 or 8 millimeters. I'm going to pull it down to about 5, which is what my clear glass is, and we're going to make a couple of wings. And I have a special tool that I use to make wings. It's graphite. And I don't know where I got it. I got it a long time ago, but it has these little grooves cut into the graphite, which gives me, a nice little pattern. Not really like feathers on a bird, but something that gives us a little bit of detail. All right, so that should do. Just to give you an idea of where we're going, this is the let me turn this torch off so I don't burn myself. This is the hummingbird that we're going to be making. It's small. It's small because it's going inside of a glass tube to become an ornament. So this hummingbird is going to be attached to a flower at the beak and then a leaf at the tail, so it's attached in 2 places. That's important. This is my tool for making the leaves. It's just a piece of graphite with some grooves cut in it, and I wish these grooves were a little bit closer together, but it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna take our blue glass, and we're not gonna get too much of it hot. Just kind of making a test tube end. We're squeezing it like so. Then we're pulling it off to a point. All right, so that's one leaf, and of course, the issue is making 2 the exact same size. What I usually end up doing is making 3 and picking 2 that are the closest. That second one I made was a little bigger than the first one, and it always seems to go that way. They seem to get bigger and bigger as I go along. I don't know why that is. Might be just a coincidence, but it happens almost all the time. And the third one is as big as the second, so we'll use the second and the third ones. All right. So as far as the body goes, I'm going to use the bigger diameter, and I'm just going to, gather up something a little bit bigger than the diameter of this tubing, but not a lot bigger, because I'm trying to make these hummingbirds as small as I can, so they fit inside of my 35 millimeter tube. So we're going to stop right there. And then I'm going to heat this other piece here. It's going to be the head. All right, so we're going to attach the head to the body. Wait a second, let it cool, then pull off what we don't need. It looks like I've put the head on the side of the body, and I do that for a reason, because the wings are going to attach up here, because hummingbirds are usually flying not linear but vertically hovering. So when you see them, they often look like they're just hovering in midair, head up, beak out, tail down. At least that's how I see them. All right, so I'm gonna pull these wings out a little bit. My sister always accuses me of making these wings way too big in proportion to the bird's body. I don't know about that. I guess I'm not paying that much attention to how big the wings are. I just know what looks good from my sculptures. But it is important to have the wings relatively the same size and height and positioning. All right, now we're going to do the beak. You got to be careful to just put a tiny little bit of glass on there, because we want this beak to be as small as possible. Because you know how small a hummingbird beak is. We're going to shorten it up later, but this glass here is going to end up being my handle, because I'm going to pull this part off and make the tail. All right, so now I just have a blob on the end of the hummingbird. I'm going to use my wing masher to make some lines in the tail area. Like so. And then we just have to heat up the body and pull the tail out so there's a nice, reasonable transition between the body and the tail. Again, keeping with the alignment. And there we go. Now you can make these hummingbirds any size. I made a few yesterday which were a little bit on the big side. This guy here is a little bit smaller, so this is my role model for today. And this guy here it's bigger than I want, so I know I need to make my wings a little smaller. And I'll make the body a little smaller too. One thing you can do with these guys is you can have the wings spread out further, and you can put a little ring in between the wings, and then you can hang it on a string, and you can hang these all over the place because they reflect light really well since they're translucent. And so typically I have a blue hummingbird. I'm going to make some red flower petals to go on the flower. I have some orange, well, actually it's like a yellow amber. So yellow, amber, and this ruby are going to be the flowers. I have some green that I'm going to make some leaves out of, and this is what the stem will be. And then we will have a blue hummingbird. So 4 colors, blue, green, yellow, and red. And they're all going to go inside of a clear ball. And it's going to be a free hanging ornament that you can display all year round. I may also make a few where I seal a piece of tubing on the back of the globe of the ornament where the bottom finial is. I seal on a piece of tubing and then I flare that up and bottom it out, and then it's a freestanding globe. But anyway, I'll show you those in another video. Let's just post this, and now you know how to make hummingbirds. Thanks for watching.